Welcome to the day 5th and day 6th of our journey of building an AI startup. So, till last time, what we had discussed was that we were able to build chat interface, which was up to the levels of what Chat GPT is. So, if we could give any kind of a query to the chatbot, like what is the meaning of life? Okay. Yeah, so we got this response from the chat GPT that as an AI language model, I do not have any personal beliefs or opinions. The meaning of life is a philosophical and existential question that has been debated by scholars, etc., etc., etc. So, okay, so what new today? So today I have been able to, add one functionality. I was working on this for the past 2 days. So what I've been able to do is that if, for some responses which are actually pertaining to our data, our internal data, then the chatbot, then of course the OpenAI chat GPT will not be able to respond to that because, it has not seen our data. So what do we do in case we want to integrate that with our own personal data? What I have tried to do is that build this functionality. So in order to do this particular thing, what we can do is that we can click on this upload button and we can upload any document which is of CSV or a TXT format. Right now it's supporting those two, and we should be able to I am not sure if you are able to see the window where I am putting in a document. Okay, so I have just uploaded a document and I'm submitting it. Okay, so it has sent a post request to our backend and the backend says that the file has been uploaded successfully. So now just to test it, if we ask the chat GPT, who is the president of the USA? So we know that chat GPT has been trained on the data till 2021. It should not be able to respond to the queries related to current affairs. So if we send it to backend, then see what is the response they are getting. So as an AI language model, I do not have access to real-time information. However, as of the last training data, the current president of the United States is Joe Biden. So it is not certain, but according to the last data, it was Joe Biden. Okay, and now what we do is that we want to access our internal data that we had submitted. So we just click on it, and then if we press enter, then see what do we get. Okay, so we get the response that the president of the USA is Joe Biden. So now if I ask a slightly different question, which is actually related to what is there inside the internal data set. So the internal data set is basically a speech given by a US congressman, and that speech is about 700 lines, and it contains some of the information regarding these facts. So I'm just going to ask who sought to shake the foundations of the free world. So basically, we have got this whole speech, and it was mentioned somewhere that somebody tried to shake the foundations of the free world. So if we just ask it to the normal chat GPT, then what response do we get? The response that we get is, as an AI language model, I cannot have personal opinions or beliefs. So something related to that, which is basically it is not able to access our internal data. And if we check mark this, then what do we get? So Putin sought to shake the foundations of the free world. And just to try one more example, how much is Intel going to raise the investment by? So again, this is one of the information that is there in our internal data. And so if we just ask it like this, then again it doesn't have the information regarding that. And if we let it access the internal data, then it is able to, so Intel is going to raise the investment from $20 billion to $100 billion. Okay, so now let's just try to look at the code that we have written and try to make some changes to incorporate all of this. So first of all, the thing that we have tried to do is that we needed to have that button where we wanted to show that we are uploading a data set, and it is on successful uploading, this handle file change is going to be triggered, and when we say button to be clicked, so handle file upload is going to be triggered. And if we look at these functions, then that event was triggered, and then we are basically capturing the selected file in the state that we had defined, which is initially null, and when somebody has uploaded the file, it would become the file itself, and the file change happen, and then if there is no, and now we are handling the handle file upload for submitting the response. So for that we are basically capturing the file in the form of form data, and then we are basically appending it with our file, and then we are sending it as a post request to our backend. And yeah, so that is how it is working. And if I look at the backend code for views, so we had actually, so right now this code was not in great shape. I just tried to make things work. So this is basically, I'm using LangChain. I'm using the LangChain's vector store index creator and retrieval QA for answering these questions. So basically what it does is that first it takes in the document and it creates chunks of the document, because in a document itself is very large. So if you just, so the document looks like this. Yeah. So this is, this is the whole txt file that we had uploaded. And to just make it work, we have to chunk it, because, you cannot send a prompt with this length. So you chunk it, and you form embeddings of those of individual chunks, and you save those individual chunks in a vector store database. Once you have stored there with the embeddings of OpenAI, then what it does is that we use the DB as a retriever, and based on the query, we are returned with some of the documents which is related to that. And then our chat GPT model basically looks at those documents and use that as the initial data to get the result. Okay, and we send the response. And here we are actually handling the handle file upload. Yeah, so this is the progress and the code till now. Yeah, I just hope that you would have liked it, and yeah, in case you have any questions, you can just put it in the comments. Yeah, so that's all for now. Thanks a lot, guys.